Peter is probably logged in right now too.
Oh yeah. Iowa, Minnesota. Hallelujah. Hello from Iowa/Minnesota. I love Minnesota. The Minnesota people used to come to Winnipeg when they were 18 years old so they can drink in Canada. It was a real party, man, with the out-of-towners.
Yeah?
Yeah. Good times.
This is when it was still a party for you, bro. This is before the crack.
This is before the crack. Yeah, this is before the shit hit the fan.
Shout out to Johnny, 3 years sober today. Happy birthday.
I see. Is that Matt
Nice,
up
nice
there
heart.
in our shirt?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Nice, Matt. Representing the
905 Jersey
Hopeaholics.
time, 31 degrees. Anthony, yeah, baby.
Shane was the tour guide for sure, Chuck. For sure.
That's hilarious.
Hey, Kyle. Kyle
Congratulations,
Quasing is.
Cassandra.
I think that's how you say his name. What's going on, Kyle?
Oh, I don't see him.
Yeah, but he said,
I'd
love
like to
you
come
guys.
back. Yeah, Kyle. Yes, come back, please.
I don't see him.
Kyle.
Oh, he wrote in the book. Hi, Kyle.
Yeah, we want you back, man. I was very
Kyle's
talkative
a-
last time.
Yeah, and I always get so much love every time I wear his
Every
shirt.
time. Yeah, come down, please. I'm extra large now.
Now?
All right.
I was a medium before.
He was an extra medium.
Extra medium.
Anyways, guys, thanks for showing up to the Tuesday night Recover Out Loud
really
meeting. We
appreciate it.
really, really appreciate it. Just a quick friendly, I can't talk, and I haven't even had any coffee. Quick friendly reminder that this meeting is broadcast live on YouTube
Oh, yeah.
and other platforms. So
And it was started, 18 months ago?
almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years ago from a tragedy. Chad lost his son-in-law on 9/11 of 2022. And from something very bad grew this, which is, a miracle. We're saving lives today.
Absolutely.
And we're spreading the word. And we're bringing that number of 300 down. We're picking away at it each bloody day,
Yep.
you know?
To be honest with you, I believe it is going down.
Yeah.
You know, the
We're-
fentanyl's still in here like a mad
Like a mofo?
like a mofo.
But at least people are now talking about it.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
getting so brushed.
I don't know if you guys noticed too, like on the news, they're not calling it overdoses
Yeah.
that much anymore. They're starting to use the word poisoning, which is the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It
100%.
is a poison. There's no safe dose of illicit fentanyl. 1 milligram can kill.
Yeah.
So we got an amazing guest tonight.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
really
do.
do. Before we start there, who's that Irish kickboxer MMA guy? I believe we have him in the house today, right here in the right middle. Josh Kramer is the terrible MMA fighter. What's his name?
You're talking about
The Irish guy.
yeah.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Conor
right there.
McGregor, right there.
baby.
Conor
right
McGregor
fucking there.
came in as a different person today.
Right there.
Josh
Looking at
Kramer.
Josh Kramer. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
What? I'm just saying. Look at
Oh!
Look at him. He's all pumped up.
Hey!
He's going to take us to the ring. He's going to take us outside, do a few. He's a
Can
big
we
boy.
make him the full
He's
screen
a big
for
boy,
everybody?
too. He's
All right, Josh, we see you, dog. We see you, dog.
Yeah, baby.
Just keep the camera up there.
All right.
Josh, you naked or what?
All right,
Stop
guys.
it,
We-
Shane.
I'm just asking.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's naked.
No, he is not.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, we like to have fun up in here, so I hope that you all like to have
Yeah.
fun too.
Yeah. All right.
One last reminder, because things do get buck wild in here every once in a while, and I need to put the warning in there.
Disclaimer. It's called a disclaimer.
Disclaimer: Shane
Oh,
is
yeah,
from
that's-
Canada.
That's fucked
So
up.
what?
Yeah.
That's just saying. I thought it was something else.
Shane's from Canada, so he says inappropriate things all the time. So no offense, he just doesn't understand America.
No, America.
Doesn't get out much.
Yeah, no,
that's for
clearly.
sure. America.
This is it for Shane right
Yeah.
here. This is the highlight of his fucking life.
Yeah.
It's true.
So
All these people.
Why did I
I
always
don't
pick
like
on
when
you?
they call
I
it
always
an
noticed
accidental,
that.
right? Shane and
because it's the,
Matt Lull, damn.
the
Thanks, Doug.
easiest.
He's an easy target.
Yeah.
There you go.
You-
Matt. No one
Shane.
understands. I'm-
Like,
Shut
what
the
are you
fuck
doing?
up. All right, here we go.
Unbelievable.
Let's go.
We have an amazing guest tonight. There's an award ceremony named after her.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
on ESPN once a year.
Yeah.
It's called the ESPYs. So tonight we've got ESPY. Her real name is Esperanza, which means hope.
Yes, there you go.
Amazing.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
All right,
Yeah.
you take it away.
Appropriate.
You got about
Very
20
appropriate.
minutes to tell us your experience, strength, and hope.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for having me. How
Absolutely.
exciting! And like I mentioned earlier, this is the first time I've shared my testimony on a platform publicly.
Wow.
And it wasn't because I was ashamed. It was merely because of employment. And when I was asked to do this, I couldn't say no. At first I was hesitant, but then I finally said, okay, no, God lead me, lead me to wherever I need to go. And I'm here, and I'm just happy to be here and share my story. So I did have to go back some, and I realized how much was so much has happened that I have not necessarily blocked out, but I actually moved forward, which is good, so I didn't stay there and dwell. But I was actually a late bloomer. I decided to try meth at 42 years old.
Crazy.
Yes. My background, growing up, I come from a Latina family, Mexican, 5 children. My brother's the oldest, and we have 4 girls. And Catholic, born and baptized Catholic, raised Catholic, had to go to church every Sunday, that type of a deal. So middle class family, decent, was going to be in law enforcement. I was a cadet, I was a police explorer, and what have you. And I decided that wasn't for me, and I went and I got married. So I was married for 17 years and went through divorce after that. Moved out on my own for the first time. First time because in a Latina family, at least my family, you weren't to leave the house until you were married. So it was literally my first time I've ever lived on my own at 42 when I moved out. So going through divorce. And, I didn't really even know what meth was. I found myself in my neighbor's garage, they were drinking beers, and he pulled, the tools out, and I said, sure. I really didn't know what was going to hit me after that. And after that, it was the end of it. Just talking about chasing that high,
Yeah.
7 years in my addiction. I thought I hid it from everybody. I do have 2, ex-husband and I have 2 boys, and they're 26 and 23 now, and they are my rock. And my oldest son was with me during my entire addiction of the 7 years. And although I put food on the table, paid the bills, kept my job, what have you, I realized I was a functioning addict, but it was exhausting and what have you. So I was in my addiction for 7 years, and fast forward, I was at dinner with an ex-boyfriend, and it was toxic, and we ended up getting in an argument, and I ended up going to jail for assault. Okay. This is during my addiction. And although I wasn't really high that day, it was all accumulation, the anger, what that meth causes. But I went to jail. But the part that really, really was hard for me to move forward to face was the fact that it was a family member that called the police on me. So, and in many, I don't know, in your families, but my family, you don't call the police on family. You just don't do that. So in my case, and my sister is watching.
Oh my God, amazing.
Yvonne. And I can talk about it now, and I'm sure she's okay. I know she's okay with it, but we've already moved past that. But she called the cops on me, and at that point, I was so angry. You know, she wasn't there, what have you, you know, and at that point, I was the victim. Like, I couldn't believe you called the cops on me. So I went to jail, and there's five of us. My brother, the oldest, and then 4 girls. None of them bailed me out. My younger cousin bailed me out. So that added more anger. So it was just, SB's angry. SB's just angry. SB's just miserable. SB's just the victim. You know, woe is me, you know. So I was bailed out. Then I realized I couldn't be at home because I was going to see my sisters, because it was a collective effort to put me in jail. But I couldn't see my sisters. I was so angry that I had to be taken to the hospital, ended up in the mental hospital for 3 days, and then followed it up with rehab. So rehab, I did 30 days of rehab, and it was the best thing that could have happened to me. Although it was a struggle, and I still could not believe I made that choice to pick up meth out of all things. And then I had a problem with people in my family, people I cared about, judging that, not just me, but the actual drug itself. Because if it's one thing I didn't want to debate, was the hierarchy. You know, you have alcohol, okay, it's accepted, it's socially accepted. Then you have cocaine, which is more like glamorous, and then, or weed, or what have you. And then you have the meth, it's dirty and it's not acceptable. And then you got the heroin, you know, which is also in that category. So it was crazy because we had alcoholics and addicts in our family, but I was the first one to actually go to rehab out of anyone, and the last actually so far. But if it has to be me to break the chain, so be it, you know. But these are things I realized way later. It wasn't that easy for me to accept these things. I wasn't even open to that at that point. But I went to rehab, and like I said, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. But what really, really, really opened my eyes was my children. Okay, now at this point, throughout my addiction, I had lost my dad at the very beginning of my addiction. He passed away at the very, when I was going through divorce, and I just started my addiction. Then in 2022, we lost my ex-husband, our boy's father. He had a massive heart attack. Jeez. So 2 men, 2 very important men in their family, you know, and men lead in our family, you know, they're the rock. So that was pretty devastating. It was devastating. So, you know, quickly my boys jumped up and took the lead. And I felt like a terrible mother, because that's my job. But here I'm trying to take care of my addiction, or try to hide my addiction throughout, you know, this turmoil. And whether they knew or not, I still thought in my head, they don't know. I'm just going to keep going. But so I when I got out of rehab, I did AA, NA, found a sponsor. And then shortly after, I found my fellowship, the Magic Set Free Ministries. And that was a blessing. It still is a blessing, and still there. And I learned a lot about Jesus and God. I did get baptized right out of rehab, but I really didn't know the Bible, even though I was raised Catholic. It was kind of forced on us, so it didn't make sense to me, you know. So I started learning the Bible. I was really open to it. It was opening my eyes more. It was easier to understand. But I then dropped AA. I went up to my 3rd step. I dropped AA and A because, not because I don't believe in it. It does work. It's because there's so much to learn in the Bible. You know, it was hard for me to believe something I couldn't see. And the reason I talk about that is because that's a big part of my recovery, because that's what's been really keeping me afloat, right? So I went up to the 3rd step, and I was 5 months into my recovery, and I relapsed. So I guess, I passed that 90-day mark and okay, I'm good. And honestly, it was no particular reason. It was not the deaths that had happened. It was merely just, I want to get high. But mainly the energy that I didn't have anymore. So as a single mom, I wanted to do so much. But so I relapsed, and then of course, so much going on in between, going to work, having challenges and arguing with my sons, because in reality, it was my attitude the entire time. My poor boys. We then are faced with another hardship, which is my 17-year-old nephew. This one's very hard to talk about, but 17-year-old nephew dies in a car accident. So now we have the third male in our family, another one in our family. He died in a car accident, and that was a big blow to our family. And at that point, I started not believing in God. Like, who are you? Like, what's my dad, my ex, my nephew, and it just turned our lives upside down. So here I'm still in my addiction. I'm relapsed here. And I still have one foot in my fellowship at the Set Free Ministries and one foot out. But I'm sure they knew, but they never, ever questioned anything. And when I was ready to get clean again, they welcomed me with open arms. But so throughout my addiction, I was faced with so many challenges, and that's the losses. And to this day, I haven't grieved, but not fully grieved. So I went back, I got clean again and kept going with my fellowship. And then last year? My brother passes away. So now it's another male figure that passes away, and he's an alcoholic. I know he struggled and tried to get clean many times, but it was just too painful. But he had fallen. Basically, it was just a freak accident. He had collapsed and had a seizure outside of a 7-Eleven and liquor store, and he hit his head on the concrete, and he died, brain damage instantly. So another blow to the family here. Now here, I'm not believing in God anymore. I'm like, who are you, right? We're at the hospital, and he's, he's on the machine. And the last night before we were going to let him go, I was in the waiting room by myself. It was like midnight. And in my head, I was saying, God, who does this? I don't understand how such a loving, powerful, person can allow this to happen. Why would he take, 4 people from us that like back to back? And I was just blind to it all, and I wasn't willing to really listen to anything because nothing was making sense. So I was sitting in the back of the waiting room and on the ground just weeping, and here around the corner comes this man, and he looks down at me and he says, "Are you okay?" And I said, I just nodded my head no. And he puts his hand out, because I'm on the ground, and he puts his hand out and he says, "Can I pray for you?" And here I'm, yelling at God, saying, "I don't believe you anymore." And here it comes out of nowhere, I'm by myself. He comes around the corner and he says, "Can I pray for you?" And weeping, I said yes. And he got on his knees and we prayed together and we cried together. And his son was there because he had gotten in a car accident and he was not doing very well. He did survive, thank God. So we're friends till now, So that was a total God shot for me. So I started gaining my my faith back, and I didn't realize that I was recovering to the point where like I didn't want it. I didn't even think about the drug anymore because there was so much going on, so much more important things that were going on. And then, so that's the gist of my addiction for the most part. And what really has saved me is my faith. And there's so much still to learn. I still call myself a baby Christian, but you know, Proverbs, I love the Proverbs, and what's the fear of God is what keeps me. I'm not saying I'm a perfect, you know, we all sin, but that makes me think twice about things that might be, you know, going through my mind. So like, for example, Proverbs 31:30, you know, charm is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. That really keeps me like, get your crap together, girl, because yeah, it just having those flashbacks of everything happening again, you know, jail and being the shame of the family when I was supposed to be one of the ones that was supposed to succeed, you know, what have you. But, you know, and what was really hard for me to really understand was, how can pain possibly be your purpose? How can pain be a good thing? At that point, I was like, people were telling me, you know, pain, you know, it's a good thing, you know, but it didn't make sense to me. That and not like God, not seeing something. No, I'm sorry, believing something that you could not see. That was really difficult for me, which is partly why I dropped AA. Which I actually went back to AA. I've been doing it for a couple of weeks. And like I said, I always believed in it, but I think I have a better grasp on God. So, my faith. So I was ready to go back to AA. And I also really thought I was missing out on, you know, things that brothers and sisters out of my fellowship were sharing. And it's just so powerful. And I think I still have to work on some resentments I may have and just growing as a person, but resentments and character defects. So I said, wait a minute, that's what it's going to work for. So I went back and I really enjoy them. But let's see. Now, the one thing that I did worry along my recovery was the charges. When the assault charge, and then what's going to happen, you know, am I going to go back to jail? So I was told after 2 years, they basically can't do anything anymore, right? They have to have 2 years to file. And 2 years came and went. And I thought I was in the clear. You know, I'm with my fellowship and, you know, just working and doing my thing. And one day I get served with a bench warrant. I said, wait a minute. My heart just dropped. I'm like, okay, God, you know, but I wasn't mad at him. This time. Like, okay, now I'm really gonna have to pay for my suffer the consequences. And so the bench warrant, I let it sit for about a month or two. And then I finally told Sandra at Set Free, and I told her what had happened. And basically, I had to, you know, show up, deal with the consequences. So I did show up one day. I did go to court. I didn't know what I was walking into, honestly. I didn't. But before I left, I had grabbed my rehab letter, my baptismal certificate, a Set Free book that I had right there, by my door, and an AA and books. And I just grabbed it, put it in a bag, left. Okay. Showed up. And out of about 20 people, there was only 2 people being prosecuted, and one was going to be me. And little did I know until I got there. My heart dropped. But I wasn't as anxious as I used to be. I've got God with me, right? So I was actually pretty cool the whole time. And so the prosecutor calls me out. We go outside and talk, and he says, well, I can cut you a deal. He says, you can go down the hallway and take a swab test and basically make sure, he wanted me to, take the test so I could be a criminal. It's not so I could be a criminal. So they'll know that I am a criminal. Like in case I ever get pulled over, in case I cause anything else, they'll see that I'm a past criminal. So I looked at him and I said, but I'm not a criminal. And he looked at me like, are you kidding me, lady? Why wouldn't you take this deal? He says, do you want AA? Do you want NA? Do you want like 20 of them? He goes, and I said, I've been doing those. And he says, you have? And I said, yeah. I said, I've been doing this, 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 and this. And I grabbed all my little paperwork and book and I gave it to him and he went through it and he just looks at me. He says, okay, let's go in. So I have no clue what this guy's going to do, right? So the judge calls us up and the prosecutor ended up basically saying some really kind things about me and how I've recovered and how I'm a better person and how much I've tried and changed. And he asked for all the charges to be dropped. Mm-hmm. So the judge was even shocked. But there was another God shot with me for me. And my faith really, really helped me throughout the entire ordeal because I wasn't as anxious as I normally would have been in the past. So that's the gist of my story.
Incredible.
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Wow.
Well, congratulations
Thank you.
on your sobriety, on God.
On sharing and having the courage to share your testimony for the first time publicly, because I know how difficult that is because we're consumed with many things, whether it's employment to our own insecurities to whatever else the devil likes to lie to us about. So thank you for sharing your experience, strength, and hope, because it's voices like yours is exactly why we exist, is because we are not alone. We're not unicorns. We are all one and the same. We suffer from the same exact thing. I love it because Chad says it all the time. Like, a lot of people put it on to, like, the substance. It's not. That was our solution. Our problem is how we think. Our thinking is not right. So you remove the substance. That's fantastic. Now we have our sobriety. But that's when the true work begins.
Right.
And your story is a testament to that, because walking into a courtroom and having charges dropped and all of those things, those are God shots because you're doing the work. And it's a constantly daily thing. It's a daily reprieve. So congratulations to you yourself, to your family. I love that your sister's here. I'm sorry for your losses. But that's life.
Right.
And we have to learn to walk through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And every time we're going through that pain, we never understand why. The pain to purpose thing, I get the saying. But when you're in it, when you're in the thick of it, you can't comprehend it because you're going through it. But once you get to the other side of it, that's why.
Right.
Because you're able to show everybody that tuned in tonight, including us at this table, the resilience, the determination. You didn't fold. You didn't lay down. You didn't stop. You continued on. And you're now sitting in that chair sharing the strength that you had to keep on going.
Thank you so much. And you mentioned pain, and the pain, like I said, how does it become such a positive thing? Well, I get it now. I was so focused on the fact that that I thought the pain was defining who I was.
Sure. Pain, my choices, shame, and all.
Exactly. Like, everybody knows what I did. If I'm walking down the street, I just have those negative, the devil, the enemy. But I realized that what defines me is how I manage them and how I surpass them. Not
For sure. That's what builds character and integrity, and that's what builds strength and people admire. It's like those types of character building kind of things that we have to go through.
Right.
So thank you for your share. I loved it.
Thank you.
It was awesome.
Thanks.
Especially for your first time. It's hard to do.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
The first time is the best
And
time.
you'll never forget the first time.
No.
with anything. You know what I mean, guys?
Whoa, guys! Natalie went there this time.
Sorry.
Natalie,
I never
went
go there, guys. I'm sorry.
It
comes
is
out every now
usually
and again.
Shane and I. It looks like Joel's laughing.
Yeah,
but
thanks,
he's
Joel.
just-
He was, but it might be frozen.
It's just, no, he's just that's just his picture.
Oh, is it really? Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious. It totally looks
Look, there's
real.
Joel. Now he's laughing.
Where is he?
Doesn't the girl next to
Oh
Joel
my God,
right
that is
now?
like really crazy. That's
She's
a
in our
great.
studio.
It looks like she's in our
Yeah,
studio.
it does. Looks like
What's her
Sylvia.
name?
Dude, Joel's
Sylvia.
picture is probably
Sylvia,
the,
what are you doing in our
Laura.
studio?
that's the
Sylvia
best
Laura.
picture I've ever seen because it looks like he's literally listening. His photo.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Joel's. It's funny.
It's funny. It's like super. I thought he was like right there with me. And he hell wasn't.
Joel, that's a good
That's
one,
a
man.
great
that's
photo.
exactly. If you like don't want your
Yes.
camera on, everybody, I suggest you get a picture
Totally, I'm
just like
copying it.
Joel's. Yep.
Look at that. Like I'm doing that.
Like,
picture.
bro,
I'm right here.
he's
Huh?
They're saying something super sad and he's just smiling.
I know. What if I was crying, Joel? I guess that wouldn't be the
yeah.
photo.
Oh man, who's ready to share, man? I don't see any hands up yet. I see one hand up, but she hasn't hit the actual hand up button.
Kylie?
Sylvia, she wants to share. She's like,
You think?
how do I hit the button?
I don't even know.
She's
how
like,
to,
I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. Let Sylvia share.
I don't know how to.
We're
raise
gonna
my hand
unmute you, Sylvia.
in a Zoom. Either.
Okay, she's saying stuff. Let's read her lips. Johnny is requesting no.
Johnny. Multiple. What? Johnny.
Johnny.
Okay, we'll ask her.
All right, Sylvia, we'll come back to you when you're ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, this is too much technology for me. It's my first time.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I really have Instagram and Facebook. Hi, everybody. My name's Sylvia. I'm a 10-year
Sylvia.
recovery coming from IVRS. And it's the best decision I've ever made. And I only did it because of my two kids and the relationship that I had, their dad. I went through domestic violence with him. You know, I was abused and other personal stuff I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about really me. Other than that, right now, I'm going through a hardest roller coaster still with my daughter. She's 18 years old. She went Hope by the Sea not too long ago, I think in 2 months ago, going on 3 months actually. And she checked out in 9 days. To make the long story short, she wasn't ready. I thought she was ready. I spoke to Shane. Shane helped me talk to somebody else. Somebody else reached out to me from Hopeaholics. And I'm still going through it, and it's come to a point where I've become so numb to it. And my daughter's been home. For 2 months already. Thank God she's out of the streets, but she goes out during the day. She goes, gets her fix, and comes back. But she's still with her toxic boyfriend, and it's so hard to disconnect each other. So hard to just break that. And I tell her, you know what, you need to get your space and all that. She's tried to make an effort. I've read her texts. She doesn't have a phone, nor I give her money or support her money because I already know what she's going to do with it, or grant her a phone, just so she could lose contacts, you know. And trouble's not looking for her. She's out there looking for trouble. She's looking for it, you know. Nobody comes knocking on the door. Can you guys still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, because I'm seeing like little things popping up. I'm like, oh my God. And other than that, it's she's home, but I mean it's killing me. The stress is it's caught up to me. I can't even say it's catching up to me. It's caught up to me bad. It's, you know, me crying and doing all it's become numb. And right now she's out there, right here she just came home not too long ago. Still arguing with her boyfriend. You know, she tries to leave him. I've heard her, I've read her messages, but he says, well, I'm going to change too. I'm waiting for you to go to rehab so I can go to rehab. When I try to take her to meetings, to IVRS meetings, at least to warm her up, so to check her back into rehab, he tells her that he would like to go to meetings with her. And I tell her, honestly, I wouldn't recommend that because you need your space too, you know, and you're private. for you to speak up upon what you're going through. He's too clingy. She really started going out with this guy back in actually this year of March, and she came to me, and that's when I started noticing something different. She's like, Mom, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but the guy that I'm dating now is homeless. He's been homeless for 2-3 years already. And I'm like, oh my God. And he was gay. Not that I'm against gays, but he had a boyfriend before. Okay. And he was with this guy for 4 years, and the boyfriend went to prison. He came out of prison. I got actually in contact with the boyfriend because I wanted to know his name. She would tell me like what Marty would tell her. And he told me, how much of a piece of shit he is, but I mean, who isn't during their addiction? I'm not here to discriminate. I'm not one to be perfect. I don't come with the spoon up my ass, like silver spoon up my ass. But other than that, I'm trying to help her out because she's telling me she wants to change this time. And we've gone to 4 facilities that she's checked out already this year. I don't know what else to do. I'm giving my last, and I told her I'm giving you my last energy, this much of energy that I have for you. After Christmas, if you don't, the deal is for you to continue going to meetings or go to meetings. Just you and I'll go with you if I have to. I'm gonna have to make the hardest decision and let her go. I'm gonna have to let her go and for her to hit rock bottom, because it's
you can't do it
me
for her.
trying to help her, reach out to her, me continue looking for her is not helping. Mm-mm. It's not helping. She just feels like mommy's gonna forget me. Mom's there for me and stuff. And it hurts. But I mean, I plan to move out next year on April or May. My goal is before summer, because we're right around the area where it's just, she can easily come get in the corner, bunch of homeless people around me. I mean, but it's like, just trying to get my other 2 kids out of the environment,
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll keep you in our prayers, and your daughter, if she needs help, man, just reach out to Shane, to any of us, to the Hopeaholics. We'll do whatever we can. We've got people available to help get her back into treatment. So, just
I've told her, honestly, we're gonna warm you up, and because last time when I checked her in with you guys, the Hope by the Sea, it was a surprise, a shocking. I didn't want to tell her, but I told her, you know what, we're gonna freaking check you in, and it was just like boom,
Yeah.
And she was like on a sick one, and she was going through withdrawals too, but I think instead of doing that, jumping to it right away, I'm gonna take her to do meetings first, and detox if she has to, take it one day at a time, and just to get her prepared to see if she's ready, before I checked her in back with you guys over there at the inpatient facility in Orange County.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for your share. We got Kylie. I can read.
Wow, no,
I
you
can
can't.
read.
Are your glasses on?
No.
Yeah, that's why.
Hi, Kylie.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I have a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna try to condense it because I know I only have 2 minutes. But first of all, SB, thank you so much for sharing your testimony and sharing, your story. It resonated with me a lot, because, and I think this is a God shot for me right now, because I came to the last meeting and I let you guys know, like, you guys are pretty much one of the only reasons why I want to be sober right now, because you guys were so on it when I reached out, and I think that one of the most important parts of when you hit that point is you have to catch people while they're feeling that feeling, while they're done, you know what I mean? Or else they're just going to go back through the cycle, and they're just going to reach that point again to where they're done with being done. And, nobody understands, blah, 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 whatever their excuse is. But I'm 10 days clean and sober off everything today.
Heck yeah.
I've been sober since thank you. I've been going to the gym every day. I've been running at least a mile in the morning. And then, working out of the gym, eating healthy stuff. I started my first day at my new job today.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I'm doing pretty good, but today is super hard for me because, and this is where like the stuff kind of starts to connect for me. Today, 1 year ago, I lost my stepdad. He was shot by the police, um, for suspected shoplifting in a Walmart in Spokane, Washington. It's both my little sister's dad. And within the last year, my family has lost two prominent male figures. My sibling's step grandpa, and then about a week after that, we lost my sister's dad, and then we actually also had a young life that we also lost was my sibling's half brother that we lost to foster care a few years ago. He was not in a car accident, but he got in a dirt biking accident with his brother, and his helmet came off, and he was 7 years old, and he was brain dead, and he died instantly from impact, like hitting each other on their dirt bikes. So another kind of connection with your story, SV, was that I also relapsed after 5 months, and I also faith is the one thing that has been keeping me sober and is most powerful overall. And I think that something to really remember is that pain can only get you so far in your process. It can only motivate you so much until you have to heal from that, and then you have to find something else that's worth staying sober for, because sometimes just being sober isn't enough. And then I had something to say to Sylvia. I know you already said this and you already know this, but thank you for sharing. And for me, I'm 25 years old, and I've been in recovery or in addiction first, like with stuff, since I was 9. And sometimes, well, the one thing that really got me to open my eyes was I had to not have an option. I had to not have anyone that was going to come and save me. And I had to really find out. And that's really hard for parents. I know that, but, it might be, you'll always be there if she, breaks and has that breakdown. But sometimes you have to remove yourself as an option for people because, like you said, they're always going to think that you're going to be there. But that's my time. Thank you so much for letting me share. Thank you for sharing your story. It really resonated with me today. I needed to hear that. And yeah.
Thank you. Amen.
Congrats on the 10 days. Amazing. Thank you for coming.
All right, Sam, you're up, my friend. Sam Kidd, you got 3 minutes.
Hey guys, my name's Sam. I'm more of a mental health based person, but I just found out I have some news to share. So, since last time I talked to you guys, I went to a mental health rehabilitation center for a bit, um, for like mental health and suicidal and all that. I'm better now, but I also found out recently I have seizures, most likely. It's hard for me to grasp because it's scholastic seizures. It's like a laughing seizure. It stems from my autism, but um, it's really hard for me because it's hard to grasp how much medication I might be taking or how all that. It really stresses me out. I'll get a therapist about it tomorrow, but it's scary to know that I might have how the body, but we'll find out. Also, like I said, I do have autism, and it's hard to like day by day when I'm just living day by day. Also, I'm 21 now, all from Halloween, and I did a little bit of alcohol. I'm gonna say it's not great, and I'm never gonna do it again. I think it's horrible, and I'm also gonna try to get into church, because I feel like faith could really help me out right now, or some type of religion, no matter what it is. And it's just been hard for me to stay in there. My seizures have been really almost daily again, and I've been missing work because of it, and it's really detrimental to my life. So hopefully um, this new like doctor and this new and this GID, it's gonna help me a lot. Um, and I'm getting an MRI and stuff like that scanned, and hopefully I'll get better. Yeah, I'm 21 now, but I'm gonna live a sober life because what I've learned from everybody else, and especially my uncle and mom, my sister, is like alcohol and drugs are not great, and I should not get into it no matter what age. So, I'm just really scared for my mental health and physical health right now because I just hope whatever they're gonna say about my seizures isn't too scary. So I do jujitsu and Muay Thai and boxing and all that, and I just want to make sure my MMA career won't be affected. But if it's not the end of the world. But I'm a positive person. I look at things positively. You guys know that. So I DM you guys all the time, and I just want to keep you guys updated. Yeah, hopefully I'll get my testing soon, and if not, I'll keep you guys updated. Hopefully I could be in your podcast to talk about it more. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful night. After this, I'm gonna leave because I gotta talk to my mom. But thank you for your time and God's prayers.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Sam.
Sam. River.
Hey, Hopeaholics.
Hey,
I'm a
buddy.
triple threat, alcoholic, addict, mental defect. Thank you for your lead, SV, for your experience, strength, and hope.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I have a lot to say. Let's see what comes out. I wanted to check in, right? So, last month I thought I had 18 months sober, right? Because I fucked up all these neurons in my head, right? From being out and about for like 17 years. I used to shoot up fucking heroin in my neck when I was 22, and I started shooting up meth in my vein when I was 27, and then now I'm 32, right? And I have 18 months this month, not last month. So yeah, that's all. A little bit. Yeah, I'm creating new neuron paths in my brain, and I guess that takes a lot of time. But today I'm healthy and happy because I come to these rooms, right? Like yesterday, I drove down to Riverside to see my family, and then on the way back on the 14, I got a lot of traffic, and I was like, I would have stopped by at a liquor store, I would have gotten some vodka or some beer, some IPA, something hard, and then I would have been sniffing my baggie, right? Because I wanted that burn in my throat and that tear in my eye, right? But instead, I went on a meeting. I went on radfordhall.com, and honestly, I get the same satisfaction, and it's not for 15 minutes. It's not for a week. It's everlasting in my spirit. Because I don't need outside substances to complete me today. I have God today. Only God could have saved a hopeless alcoholic like me, right? I was in Tijuana on a $20 motels, surviving. I was thinking I was living my best life. At least I have it under my belt, but it was all disgusting. It was all disgusting. I never made a life for myself, a name for myself. Today my life looks a little different, right? I just got certified as a barber. I completed my 1,000 hours.
Oh, nice.
And I'm waiting for my program. I have a night job that I work 7 days a week at the Mojave Junior Senior High School, like 30 miles from me. And then I'm even doing Salvation Army part-time, like ringing a bell because I just bought my mom a TV, right? And I gotta make money somehow. And these are my first legal jobs in like 4 years, right? I used to do quick stuff, get quick money, and just spend it like in 30 minutes. It was gone anyways, Like I was just a sick person. I was just sick. And I went to Salvation Army 4 different times. I went to Tarzana Treatment Center 14 different times. And I went to Cry Help 1 time, right? So as long as you guys keep coming back and never lose hope, like it works, So yeah, I just wanted to share like a little bit of my background, right? I had to go to program a lot, and a lot of the cognitive behavior therapy, it didn't automatically hit. I would listen, I would hear it, but I didn't have the ability to grasp all of it. But slowly but surely it has been adding up to manifest, in my life today. Sometimes okay, that's my time. Thank you guys.
Amazing.
River.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you, brother.
I think the next person up is that the real Serenity?
Mm-hmm.
Amor?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the real one?
Yeah, it is.
Hi, family. How are you?
Very
Good, you?
good.
Hi.
This is my girl. I'm so proud of you, first of all, for coming on here, sharing your story. You know, we talk about this all the time, how important it is, and your mess becomes your message.
Sweetheart.
And the thing is, like, when we share these stories and share our experiences, like, they are impactful. And for you, it's a part of therapy. It's freeing. It makes us feel good, you know, and regardless of what you've done, you know that you can't take anything away from the love that God has for you.
Amen.
And he's going to love you regardless of those things. But like I said, now you can turn it around and use it for his purpose and to be able to share this and help someone else, because I've said it before, a lot of times with our cultures, stuff is taboo. Like, we can't talk about stuff. Like, lots of times, like Hispanic, like, you know, Black, French, all the stuff that that I have mixed in me too. The thing is, like, you don't want to talk about mental health. It's like, it doesn't look good, you know? We have that pressure of always being like the perfect child, you know, or the golden children or whatever it might be. So give yourself grace, sis, because I can say from just the few months that I've known you, I see such a difference already.
Oh, thank you, honey.
And you are growing and you are glowing. And I just love to see that. And you're coming out of your shell and you're doing so much more. And these moments that we get to share, like, I appreciate them. I appreciate you. You know, Hopeaholics, they're the best family, the second family that we get. Because obviously Set Free is our first family. And, you know, this support system that you build in this, like, we talk about how important it is to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. You know, my heart was breaking for when Sylvia was sharing too about her daughter. You know, it's so hard as addicts to feel like you're alone, and it's hard to be a parent and have to put in those boundaries where you finally say, okay, enough's enough. Like, I'm gonna have to cut them off. And as a mom, I think we take it a little bit harder. And, you know, I messed up as a mom, and I feel like I'm still hard on myself for that, you know, because my son had to witness and experience certain things that he didn't necessarily need to see that at his age, you know. And I mean, thank God he's a teenager, and it was a positive thing in the fact that he could look at everything and know that he doesn't want to have anything to do with certain things because of what he's seen. And he's smart enough to know that. And obviously, you know, he comes to church with us and he puts God first. So I love you. I know my time is up, but thank you, family, for letting me share. And sis, you did so good. And I will see you when I see you.
I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you. Love you.
December 13th, we got another Recover Out Loud in person. Just throwing that out there to anybody. Who's coming that night?
I am.
Huh?
I am.
Okay. That's it? All right. We got Angela Rose.
Great name.
Angela Rose.
It's almost like a song. Maybe a sad song.
You guys let her go because meeting ends
Oh,
at
that's
7
right.
and
Sorry.
we're letting
Hang on,
everyone
hang
go.
on.
I'll be really, really quick. So I wasn't even going to share. It's my first time meeting, but I saw it talk about God shots, SB. You're the one talking. So I just want to also tell you that I'm so proud of you. And when you're talking about, so I went through your guys' program, Pillars. So you guys sponsored me from Pastor Phil last year.
Yeah.
And I went through the program. I did 30 days and then I came back. I also want to thank you guys because I never got to do that either. So thank you so much for that. I came back and I relapsed and overdosed on fentanyl the same day. So when SB is talking about the faith, you know, faith being what has kept her, faith being what has been like the rock in your sobriety, right, is Jesus Christ. I feel you there. I got so much knowledge from your guys' program, so much good knowledge, great people, nothing was wrong with the program. But someone mentioned earlier, and I can't remember who, but it's talking about having to change our minds, right? And so I come from obviously fentanyl use, heroin, just prostitution, just a lot of deep-rooted insecurities and issues that I had going on that unfortunately 30 days of treatment just couldn't solve, right? And I came back to Set Free. I've been here for about 18 months.
Wow.
I've almost got, no fronts, in January I'll have a year sober.
Amazing.
But up until that point, I'm a chronic relapser. SB knows this about me, whether it's weed or alcohol or whatever it is. I was a chronic relapser. And not until I made the commitment, once my my relationship with the Lord became stronger over time, I was able to make this commitment to him, because in the Bible it talks about a sound mind. And because of all the things that I'd learned through your guys' program and all the things that I had learned or continued to learn outside of your program, being here at Set Free, it was a process. It was a process, and it took time. And because I wasn't strong enough yet, I kept relapsing. But once I got to that point, I think Kylie was her name mentioned, when you're at that point where you're like, okay, I'm done. And in that moment is when I made the commitment to God to have a sound mind for a year. Doesn't mean that's when my sobriety is going to end. It's just I wanted to give myself a commitment to keep to him, because I couldn't keep a commitment for myself, and I couldn't keep a commitment for Chief, and I couldn't keep a commitment for my daughter, and none of it was sticking. But when I made that commitment to God, and he entered in and took over in the process, is the only way that I've been able to be sober as well. And so that's what resonated. I came in a little bit late, but when SB you were talking about, that's always stuck out to me with you. And that's, I think, what we actually have bonded over the most is growing in our faith together. And you've come so damn far, and I'm so incredibly proud of you. And I just had to share that because I saw your little beautiful face on the screen when I popped in. So I love you.
Thank you. Love you.
Are you the girl that we picked up at the Magic House, or no?
Yes, I was bench, dirty, smelly.
Yeah, I drove you in the car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her brother.
Holy crap.
Talk about change.
Yeah.
Angela has.
I wouldn't even recognize you.
She had the blanket on. She was baking. She was baking.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah. God's good.
Yeah.
God's good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
glad.
I'm getting married.
I'm glad.
Wow,
Awesome.
congratulations.
I'm glad you're doing well.
Yeah.
How amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Angela. Jolene.
Peter Gates has his hand up.
Peter Gates, you're going to share?
Jolene,
Hi, Jolene.
alcoholic.
Hi.
Grateful to be here. Thank you for your share, SB. That was beautiful. And man, recovery for me, has just been life changing. And getting out of that driver's seat and letting my higher power, which I call God, Jesus Christ, letting him run my mornings helps run my day. And when he runs my day, I don't pick up a drink. When I don't pick up a drink, I'm a good wife, and I'm a good mom, and I'm a good person. I've been sober for 743 days, and bringing in that second year was, it was hard. It was a lot of self-reflection. Like that first year was like, all right, cool. I don't need to drink. I need to take these suggestions. I need to live a different way. And figure out all this unmanageability and havoc that I had caused. And in the second year, it was peeling back these layers of self-discovery and discarding. And it's hard work, man. And it's showing up every day, even when it's uncomfortable. And to hear like all the stuff that you went through and all those deaths, man, it brought tears to my eyes because I haven't really had that happen. I've had a lot of other shit happen, but recovery has saved my life. It has saved my family's life. It has saved my children. And I'm just so grateful. And anybody that's new or doesn't know what they're doing, your life can change if you just take these suggestions, if you just stay and listen, get some numbers. I'll put my number in the chat for any of you ladies for sober support. And that's all I got. Thanks.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like Joe hasn't been working for a while.
Yeah.
Joe.
I think he got fired.
Either that or he made enough
You don't get
money.
fired off the union.
Huh?
They don't
I
fire
can't
you.
get fired.
No, you
Shane.
can't. I was just saying
get
that you
fired.
can't get fired, man. You really got to do something drastic.
And I've done so much drastic shit, they couldn't fire me. So now I'm like a saint. They got no reason to fire me. I just took the night off. I have some side projects I'm working on this week.
Nice.
Learning to dance.
Shane.
Yeah.
What?
It's 7, and we want to make everybody.
He said he's doing a new project.
Yeah,
I thought he was
well,
learning a dance. What's this?
No more dancing for
All
me.
right, fair enough.
Sorry guys, I don't want to take up too much time, but
I
SB, thank you for your qualification. Let me introduce myself. My name's Joe. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, hey Nat, hey guys. I know how hard it is to break anonymity. My first time was on here, but it's so rewarding because it's like that secret's out now. Because secrets, regardless what they are, they hurt us.
Yeah.
You know. And once I was able to do that, it just opened up so many opportunities for me and so many you know, you get to speak to people about it and they reach out to you, you know, and it's a beautiful thing. I questioned God a lot. Most of the time I questioned him when I was active. All this bad shit was happening. I'm like, how could you let that happen? But in reality, I was the cause of everything. You know, it was very rare something happened that just shouldn't have happened when I was out there. Now that I got sober, a lot of stuff is happening, you know, and instead of questioning him, and as weird as this sounds, because I was never this guy, it's okay, what's the opportunity in this? You know, how could I learn from this? It's unfortunate you lose a family member, a friend. It's terrible, right? But it's also life. It's gonna happen regardless. So this is what was taught to me. And I had to accept these things and try to figure out what can I learn from this? Why is this happening? You know, regardless of what the trauma was at that time, I learned from every single thing. Every single thing. And I feel like he's preparing me to level up. And I hate using that word. It sounds like arrogant and stuff, but he's preparing me for what I'm trying to manifest. It's the only way I could look at it, you know, and keep me sane and happy. It's difficult sometimes because sometimes innocents get hurt and you question that. People that have no business getting hurt, you know, but you know, I try to be empathetic to people and sympathetic, but it's almost like I'm not going to say cold, but I'm becoming like a robot. Anything that happens doesn't surprise me anymore. And I'm okay with it. I'm like, all right, such is life and let's move on. And people are questioning like, yo, don't you feel bad? I'm like, yeah, I grieve in my own way. I used to cry every day when I was active, behind the wheel, listening to Bruce Springsteen or someone that shouldn't make you cry. Yet I was crying. Now it's like I cry when I'm kind of supposed to cry. I process, you know, I grieve in my way. And, you know, it passes. All these feelings pass, good and bad, they pass. So I'm loving that I'm sober. I'm loving that. I don't know. I feel like God's preparing me for something major, really good. And he had to put me through all this bad in order to handle the good. Because if he gave me the good then, still a newcomer and I wouldn't have been able to handle it. But now I think prepared amazing and I would never risk that, losing that. And I think he's doing the same thing with you. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Look at the cat.
Jesse.
There's a cat.
Cat in the hat.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
I'll try to make this short and sweet if my toddler will let me talk. Thank you for your share, SB. I related to a lot of it. By the way, I'm Jesse. I'm an addict, alcoholic, what have you. But yeah, hiding my addiction was something that I thought I was the best at. I hid it pretty well from my whole family, except for my brother, and he was one that I was just always using with, and he was kind of like my scapegoat. Anytime anything would happen, I'd blame him, and he was fine with it. He's like, yeah, everyone knows I'm getting high, so I did that for a long time, and something happened. Won't get into it, but I decided to get sober, and I had to tell my brother that I'm getting sober and I can't be around you anymore. He was very understanding. He ended up homeless on the streets for a long time. Hold on, baby. And it was hard. It was hard watching him go down that road while I was getting sober. I got sober off of heroin 4 years ago, and hasn't been a clean the whole time. Hold on, buddy. But I actually lost my brother last year. Are you okay? I lost my brother last year to fentanyl.
Sorry.
And I still carry a lot of guilt and shame around that because I got sober and he didn't. And it was really hard. It still is hard. Knowing that that I never get to talk to him again. But right now God has kind of played a big part in my recovery. I'm almost 2 years this time around, and it's been really good. But there's still some hard days, and I am trying to find that positive, and it's hard to say, but the positive that can come from my brother's death. Uh, it's hard, but I'm trying, and that's all I got. Thanks, guys, and thanks for listening to my toddler. Say bye.
Of course.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks, Jesse.
Bye, little
Bye,
kid.
buddy.
Bye bye. Johnny.
Johnny.
Hey guys,
Hey, Johnny.
I'm Johnny. I'm a dope fiend addict.
Hi,
Thank
Johnny.
you, SB. Really touching story. I don't even know where to begin with mine because I've been on this journey for so long. But I'll start with today. I'm celebrating 3 years today, and I actually picked to come on here. I was on here like 5 months ago. I just got out of prison a year ago yesterday, so
Nice.
I just got off of parole yesterday.
Nice.
It wasn't that it was so hard. It was just I remember before I got out thinking like, what is it going to be like to be on parole, and can I do it? What boundaries do I need to make? People, places, and thing type scenario. But we'll dig a little bit back, SB. I relate a lot to your story. I've lost a lot of people in my life, and I grew up. When I was 13, I became homeless. So I had a very sick mom most of my whole life, and I was like chronically homeless for like 15 years throughout my life. There'd be times I'd have jobs, but I'd be like living in tents and going to work or just not having enough money to make it for like a down payment or get my own place. So I was 33 when I first got into methamphetamines, but I've always I drank when I was from 12 to like 25, and then got in a really bad accident in Vegas, a hit and run, put me in a coma, and I got put on pain pills. So then I didn't realize then that I had an addictive personality type. I didn't realize I was just trading one for another. So I got into pills, and then 8 years down the road, I'm doing heroin, and I'm trying to make this fast. 2016, I lost my mother, and the day she died, I was shooting up heroin, and that it hit me really hard. So then I got on Suboxone, and then I started a road of recovery. I made it a year when her anniversary came around, and I relapsed really hard for like a few years, and I didn't realize how much that was going to affect me. So that was and then that's when I got on the meth, and was dealing with a relationship was very toxic, and most of my life I always played the blame game too towards people, being the victim, not seeing what I was creating in my madness, being oh, I'm already up. So all right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Johnny.
Johnny, and happy 3 years, my friend.
And 1 year
That's
and
freaking
off
awesome.
probation, bro.
Parole.
Parole.
No, yeah, 1 day out off
1 day off
parole.
parole. That's cool.
One,
Good for
and
you,
1
bro.
year out of
Peter Gates,
prison.
are you really gonna share?
Peter
and
Gates, what
lead
the
us out?
fuck?
Like, of course
Peter's
you
not
would.
there.
Peter.
Did you really raise your hand, or was that on accident?
See, knew it.
What?
Gone.
Wow, unbelievable.
Gone.
Unbelievable,
guys.
Peter Gates. All right, guys, everybody turn Turn your cameras on.
Peter, you're out of control. You're an animal.
Mute that mofo.
Yeah, mute him. Goodbye. We see you every day. Wait, did he want
say
to share?
something,
Wait,
Peter?
Peter?
You're
were you-
unmuted.
Yeah, I do want to
Oh.
share. I had a fat finger.
Oh.
I'll keep it quick. SB, I just wanted to thank you for your share. I know it's a lot of work to get ready and show up over there. I too shared my story for the first time publicly, sitting right where you're at. My name's Pete. I'm an alcoholic. Sobriety dates 9/11/98.
Yeah.
My home group is Irvine Wild Bunch, and my sponsor is Bob M. out of Huntington Beach.
That's how they do it over there.
That's how they do it.
Thanks for your share. It's really inspiring. I needed to hear that. I experienced a lot of my loss and grief in sobriety. And I too consider myself a white collar alcoholic and addict, right? Upper middle class. We drank vodka and did lots of cocaine in the 80s. And instead of going to college and getting married and having kids, ended up slinking around on a carpet in Huntington Beach, doing crank. Back in the 80s, they called it crank. And I got sober, and also your story is Christ-based and God-based. And I just want to share this. I don't suffer really from the obsession to drink. I've been sober 26 years now. What I suffer from is bouts of depression will hit me. And if you compare that to a drink, it's similar. And what I've learned in Alcoholics Anonymous is to stay in the middle of the pack. I stay in the middle of my home group. I go to meetings. I stay spiritually, mentally, and physically fit. So when those obsessions or those depressions hit, I know exactly what to do. I'm surrounded by my pack. I go to a meeting. I call my sponsor. I go surfing, I get rest, I eat, and I snap out of it. So I really appreciate your story, and I just it's inspired me to share for whatever reason. There's a solution. This thing works. I've got an amazing life today, and it's all due to my relationship with God. And I found that in Alcoholics Anonymous. They tricked me in the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, and then I got baptized, became a Christian. And here I am. So thank you, thank God, and thanks to Hopeaholics.
Thank you.
PG, way to bring us out.
Peter, we just want to know when you eat. Is it McDonald's? Is it
No, it's juice.
Is it tacos? What is it? All right, you're muted. Never mind. Everybody turn their camera on. Turn your camera on.
Thank you.
We are the only meeting. We are the only meeting that does this.
So he says.
That I know of, for sure.
Yeah, because he doesn't know of any.
Joel, does 4A do this?
3A.
3A.
Oh my God. You guys see what happens past our meeting time. Everyone should be in bed.
Joel.
We love you guys. SB, you're the bomb. Thank you.
They don't, right? We're the only meeting that does this. Joel says that we are the only meeting that does this. Everybody put your camera on. Put your hands up in the air. Let's go. Let's dance. We're dancing. We're dancing.
God.
Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Natalie, the courage to change the things I can myself, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. See you guys next week, same time, same channel.
Love you guys.
Ooh, you were quiet.